This past year has been so incredibly challenging since March losing Luna. It's been gut-wrenching, and I challenge with it daily. Um, I'm not anywhere near over it, over losing Luna. She was definitely strength, motivation, a guiding light. I feel like she was my child, and so it's been a big challenge. But so everyone, I often talk about Luna, and I haven't talked too much about George. Some people know George, and George has something called dilated cardiomyopathy. He has a heart condition which causes his heart to swell and scar tissue to grow around it. And it most likely happened probably from some type of bacteria or genetics. This can also be predisposition due to genetics. He also has a heart murmur, which is challenging, and he has the ventricle that goes from his heart to his lungs is deformed, so it's got a narrowing, so it causes extra stress on the heart. And what we do is about every 6 months, he sometimes, but it's been a little bit sooner sometimes, depending on his health, is he goes to the vet for a few hours, and he gets x-rays, an ultrasound, blood test, and now he's going through some urine tests because his kidneys are not functioning that great because, taking heart medications, which he is on, can have a side effect, which is hard on the kidneys. So, and he's a sickly little guy. So, when your heart's not great, it affects all the other organs, and we take it day by day. So George knowing this about George, we know that he's not going to live to be, 16 or 18 or what we hope, or 12 or, what we hope. It's just not in George's cards. So what I want to share with you is, how do you navigate that? And there are some things that give me great solace and peace when it comes to this for George. One, I had to make a plan. Okay, what's George's death plan? So if George has a heart attack, and he's had some instances where where things were pretty bad, where his heart was stopping, and I had to come up with a plan and make a plan. Okay, what am I going to do if George's heart stops beating and he has a heart attack? What am I going to do? And I made a very difficult decision, which is very personal, and not everyone will agree with this, but I have made the decision that if that happens for George, we know that the outcome for George is going to be short-lived. Those vets absolutely stress him out. Body handling completely stresses him out. So I have made the decision that if this happens, that I will just console George, hug George, hold George. I sing a little song to him every day, so he knows that song. It's very comforting for him, and he's a big time hugger. If you ask him to hug you, he will jump up and bury his little face under your chin, and he squishes in really hard. He really loves hugs. So that's how I've decided to navigate if this happens to George. My first instinct when it's happened a couple times when his heart stopped is scoop him up in a blanket, get in the car, call a taxi, get an Uber, rush to the emergency. And I had to really think about this. It's not going to affect the outcome for George, and it's not how I want George to go. I'd rather have George go in my arms, around in his favorite place, which is the farm, and with his mom and his brother. So that's the ultimate goal. So sometimes when you're dealing with dogs that have a really big health issues, and we all experience them, we all have dogs, and we don't always talk about it. We have dogs that are going through cancer tests and biopsies, and sometimes it's the heart or liver or kidneys. Kidneys happen a lot in the older age. So when we have this, we often don't talk about it. So I want to share. That's my plan for George. That's what gives me peace, and that's what I believe will give George peace, not necessarily being on a ventilator or anything like that. I think, having George pass away at the vet or hospital is not what George would really love. I think he would have more at peace if it just happened and I let it happen at home and not make it more traumatic for him. The second big piece is George has a great day every day. He runs and plays for 3+ hours a day. He is the sweetest little guy. He's social. He's so patient with every single puppy. He's absolutely a blessing to see him with little baby puppies. It's amazing how patient and tolerant he is. They crawl all over him. They snuggle up in his belly. They bite his ears. He is so patient and giving with them. They take sticks right out of his mouth and he's like, go ahead and have it. So he has the best day every day. Every day is great. George pulls on leash, and as a dog trainer, I've never worked on it. One, George was, in heart failure most of his life. And when we moved to the farm, I said, okay, George, you're never going to have to go on leash again. You can have a life off leash. No more frustration. No more pulling on leash. You just get to run free. So that was a deal I made with George, that he gets to be off leash all the time. The other one that gives me the biggest solace and the biggest peace is that, and this is where humans differ than dogs, George doesn't know he's sick. George doesn't know that his life is short. George doesn't know that he, is not well. George thinks he's the shit. He thinks he's having, every day he's out playing and running and grabbing sticks and blades of grass, and he lives his life like it's a life to live. And that gives me the biggest amount of solace. Now, it is a burden that the human bears because we know, but because I know this, and I also know in general, I'm going to outlive my dogs. It makes all those beautiful moments with George so much more special. Everything that he does is the cutest little thing. Anytime I give him something special, I relish in that moment and I stay in that moment and I really absorb it and enjoy it. Even if it's just hugs or him being silly, because those are really special moments. And those are the moments. It's not, I didn't say it was easy. I did not say it was easy. But those are the beautiful moments that I absolutely will hold on to and remember and smile. And the same thing with Luna when, I was told by her oncologist, 50% of the dogs with Luna stats will live 5 months, 5 to 6 months. 50% of those dogs will live another 6 months. And we got about 10 months out of Luna after that. And every single day was special for her. And every single day she got, for the last few months of her life, every day she got a new toy, she got a new experience. So I'm sharing this video so that you're not alone. Going through all these health issues and trying to keep them alive longer so we can love them more is so hard and stressful, and it aches. But just have a plan. How do you really want it to go so that you don't make a rash decision when things get really hard? And remember that you can create all these really special moments that will just mean so much more, and stay present, and then have peace in the fact that they don't know they're sick. They just think it's another day, another special moment. So that's my gift, or what I choose to give to you. If you're struggling with your dog and major health issues, is try to consider those 3 things that will really, really help you through this. Because like I said, it ain't easy. It's not easy. They're precious little souls and they touch us in a big way. But it will definitely help. And every day with George is a special day. And Amour's a healthy boy. And, also relish in his moments too, because this is not going to last forever. I'm probably going to, outlive him more too. So I want to, enjoy those moments and make it count. And how you make that count is just spending time with them and doing these little things that make them happy. Because guess what? When they're happy, you're happy. And when you smile at them, they're even more happier.